Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is February 21st, 2024, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, Nvidia takes a nosedive right before its quarterly earning reports today. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So at 9 p.m., a big event coming out of the United States. It's the FOMC Meeting Minutes, major event. You do want to know it's coming out. And the markets are probably unchanged right before it. Now, looking at today's corporate earnings reports, Nvidia happening before the market opens about 4:30 p.m. this South African time. Now looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the Euro slightly higher, the Turkish Lira new low. Looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ mostly unchanged. And as we look at commodities, gold slightly higher and oil just off of its resistance-ish level. And as we look at stocks, it wasn't just Nvidia that sold off, but also Tesla giving up its gains. Now lastly, look at cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin remains unchanged. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD, slightly higher. Not a big deal, but it's important to note because today FOMC meeting minutes might disbalance the US dollar. So we want to be on top of it. It's not going to be a major play, but a couple of things here, okay? We have pretty much broken this downwards momentum, okay, that we've had here. Okay, if you look at that, that is a downwards momentum that we've had. Now it's been broken. Okay, for all intents and purposes, it has been broken. So keep that in mind that we are going to be consolidating with this in this area. Major resistance at 108.35, which is almost right there. Okay, we're at 108.08-ish level, and support at 107-ish level. It's a tight range, 130 pips, not a big deal, but you do want to know about it. Like I said, especially if we break out either on the high side or the low side again. Now jumping into the Turkish Lira, another Monday, another low. 30.91. It's at about 10 pips away from where it started out earlier this week, but it keeps on going. And so if you're positioning playing this trade, great. Okay, as it's showing us that it still has way to get softer. Okay, at least for now. Now jumping into commodities. Gold, just gaining slightly to 20-30-ish level, just giving up some of those gains right now. Again, it's still trading in a range. We're getting closer to that top side of the range. There is a slight decline here as I've shown here, okay? But nothing really major here. I wouldn't focus my time on gold because it's not that big of a trade, okay? If you like to take range-bound trading, this is the address, at least for now. Now looking at crude oil, just slightly off our resistance. Not a big deal, but slightly off. Now we're hugging this for a longer period of time, which means there's not as many sellers in this area. That means that we're more inclined to break out. And don't want to celebrate it too soon because it hasn't broke out, okay? It may just be hanging out here for a while until it makes one of the two adverse reactions. So you do want to keep it on your radar, especially if it does break out. Could create a really great opportunity. Now looking at the U.S. market, the Dow Jones unchanged day to day. If you look at a daily chart, that is just minuscule. Nothing really doing much. If you look at the NASDAQ altogether, just slightly lower, okay, and day to day. But again, nothing really major, as this is, kind of taking a downwards, beginning of a downwards trend. Now, I don't want to celebrate it anytime soon because I want to look at the big ones before. But if you look at JP Morgan, which is a Dow component, it's right back on its highs. Okay, so that's really important, especially today when we're coming out with the FOMC Meeting Minutes report. Now, a lot of people and a lot of traders really keep an eye about what Chairman Powell will be saying, and that's because a lot of it has to do with forward guidance, and that's really important for the market. Now, looking at Apple on its lows, didn't break out lower, but on its lows. If you look at Microsoft, not on its lows. If you look at Facebook, not on its lows, just at the bottom of the range of a incline. Nvidia, let's just jump into it because this is the one to play. Okay, we tanked for all intents and purposes. I mean, if you look at a monthly, that's not a tanking. That's a retracement. Okay, so, if we say, yeah, it retraced about 10%, if it's a $50 stock, it went from $50 to $45. Okay, so retracing, about $60 is not a big deal for a stock that went from $40 to $700. Okay, so just keep it into context. Okay, it does look like it's red and it's sold off and all that. And it may be. It may not guide higher moving forward because things have been already factored in. However, this is very common for this type of expansion kind of market where we have these massive sell-offs, okay? And the way I'm saying it is because it only sold off $60. And yeah, is it a considerable amount? Yes, but for, like I said, a stock that went from $40 to $700, it's relatively small. But you want to keep an eye on it today. It's going to be crazy in both directions. It'll flip us a couple of ways. I would recommend that you didn't trade it today and wait for the dust to settle and then, to jump into it. That's just my play on it. Okay, so just keep in mind the videos coming out with those quarterly earning reports. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, unchanged, holding on to its 51,700 at least for now until we get a crazy move. This is where we're at. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.